Welcome to the Odra, Cooking and Fine Wines channel. If you have been looking for information on broiling lobster tails or different ways or
Welcome
recipes
everybody.
for lobster
Hey, today
tails,
I'm going to show
these
you
are
how
our
to
top
make
5 recipes.
lobster tails. We're going to broil
Video
these
number
in
1
the
is from
oven.
the
And if you thought they were
Rockin
difficult
Cooks
to make,
YouTube channel.
you're in for a sweet surprise because they are not. They are very simple. And not only that, I'm going to show you how to make a nice little butter, lemon, garlic sauce to put over it that is just out of this world delicious. So I'm Rockin Robin, and I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that over here at Rockin Robin Cooks, we're always cooking up something delicious with flavor being our #1 priority and quality ingredients, healthy ingredients, #2. So, you know, our recipes are gluten-free a lot of times. We're doing some low carb, we're doing Mexican recipes. I know you love those. And I tell you, if that sounds good to you, then go ahead and smash that subscribe button and click the notification bell next to it so you won't miss my new videos coming out every week. So I'm going to start off here by making my little butter mixture. So what I have here is some brown butter. Now I have a video for you. Go make that. It's super easy to make and it will make a huge difference in your lobster tail flavor. It's so good. It has a nice nutty smell and flavor to it. Man, I wish you could smell that. It is wonderful. And you can see the brown bits in this. That's what you want to incorporate into the sauce. And by the way, I'm using butter from pasture-raised cows. Now I have an organic lemon here because what we're going to do with this is I'm going to use a microplane and we're going to put the skin here into our butter to let those oils infuse for some really delicious flavor, along with, I'm going to squeeze some of this in there as well. So go ahead and just do the whole lemon. Next, we're going to add some garlic. I have it in fresh garlic in my press here, and we're just going to squeeze it through and add that to it. Now, I like to add a little bit of paprika. You can use smoked paprika, you can use chili powder, you can use a combination, you can do whatever you want. Sprinkle that in there. I'm just going to toss some in until my sauce has that nice red look to it. We're going to put a pinch of salt because we talked about how this is unsalted, so we'll put a little bit of salt in there. And the last thing we're going to add is some fresh chopped parsley. Got to have that. All right, we're going to add that to the dish. Nice and green, and then we'll just stir it up. And if it does start to get, cool, it might firm up on you. You can always reheat it in the microwave if you like. But that's perfect and ready to go. We're going to let that sit, and like I said, let those flavors infuse. It's going to be incredible. And you can always taste this. In fact, let me do that. I'm going to do a little taste test to see if we need to adjust any flavors. Fantastic. Now we're going to move on to that lobster. All right, so here's my lobster tail, and I'm going to weigh him out just so I have an idea of how much he weighs, and so that will kind of guide me. It says 6.8. So since my lobster weighs about 6.5 ounces, then it's going to take about 6.5 minutes to all the way up to about 10 minutes to cook him under the broiler. So it'll just vary. We want to cook him to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. We don't want to go over that because if we do, then it can turn out pretty rubbery and unappetizing. So we want to make sure we don't overcook it. What we're going to do here is take a pair of kitchen shears like I have here, and we're going to snip right under the shell, okay, all the way down his back, and we're going to go down to about there. So you just want to snip it off, or just snip it in half, I should say, not off. And hopefully, sometimes you might get some shell that breaks off, so you want to make sure you try and get that out of there. You can wear gloves if you want. You're going to take your hands and you're going to work to open up the shell a little bit and just kind of crack it open. And then take your fingers and just kind of run it down the sides. You want to release the meat from the shell on both sides. You hear the cracking? All right, so once you kind of release that, we want to get it underneath. So you want to stick your fingers under the meat, but next to the shell, okay? And you're going to lift the meat up. You see how I'm doing that? I'm lifting it up, all the way up. And what this does is it lifts it up so we can pull it up like this, right? Close the shell back up a little bit so that the meat can sit on top. This will make a nicer presentation, plus it'll make it easier for it to broil. Now I'm going to clean this up a little bit, make sure I don't have any little shells on there before we put our sauce on top of this. And if you get any little membranes like this, you want to just peel that off. So I'm going to pour, because I have too much sauce, butter sauce, for just one lobster, I'm going to pour some of this into a separate bowl so I don't contaminate it. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. Okay, we're going to take our little lobster and we're going to place him on our cookie sheet. I'm going to place him right there like that. And then I have my sauce right here with a brush. And I'm going to brush it on. And let's get the bottom first, might as well, right? I want to get it all over so that we don't miss anything, and make sure that he's just very flavorful. Gotta make sure that shell is closed when you set him back down. And then we can just lather him up, right? Just let that sauce just go everywhere. And I will probably baste him one more time as he's cooking, and he's ready to go. So I've got my oven in the broiler setting, and we're gonna check it in about 6 minutes. And I have an instant read thermometer here. These guys are indispensable. We want our temperature to be no higher than 140, hopefully. And that'll tell us when it's ready. So in the oven we go. All right, so I've got my oven set up. It's on broil, the heating element. I want the pan to be about 6 to 8 inches from the heating element. So we are gonna place him in second rack down, and I'm gonna try and line him up so he's underneath one of the heating elements right there. And we're gonna keep the door open because I wanna keep an eye on him, and I'm gonna set my timer for 6 minutes. You can see how our lobster has turned a nice red color. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so 6 minutes, and we're gonna test with our instant read thermometer. Just make sure you try and get it right in the middle of the meat. And we're at 115, 14, it's going down. So we have a little ways to go yet. Go ahead and baste it just a little bit more before we put it back in the oven. Okay, 9 minutes and our lobster tail is done. It smells incredible in here. Okay, so I'm gonna place my lobster tail, place it right on the plate, just like that. Now what I did was I cooked up for my meal to go with it is some gold potatoes. I just basically just coated them, rubbed them with some olive oil and some salt, and I placed them in the oven, 425 degrees, and just roasted them for like 30 minutes, and boom, they turned out beautiful. So I'll place some of those, and I steamed up a little broccoli. Very simple meal, guys, but very delicious and almost elegant looking. So I'll put some of that on my plate. Can't wait to dig in here. All right, let's do a taste test. See if I can cut a little bit of this off. A little piece here. That sauce is amazing. I like that potato. Such a good meal. Man, that is delicious. That sauce is what makes it. Make sure you use brown butter. It is the best. It makes it taste so flavorful. You're gonna love it. You can use regular butter, but I'm telling you, you'll miss out on a ton of flavor. So thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe to my channel, share the video, and leave me a comment. And hey, what the heck, give me a thumbs up too. All right, thanks again. We'll see you next time.
Video number 2 is
po
from
sa aking channel. Ngayon
Mabuhay
po ay
Bangui
magluluto
Farm
po tayo ng
YouTube channel.
broiled lobster tail. Tara na! Ayan, defrost na siya. Odra. So, ito po yung broiled lobster tails. Saka yung salad. Gamit ako ng cucumber dressing. Ayan. So, huwag niyong po kalimutan mag-subscribe sa aking channel, share and like din, at saka click yung button ng bell para ma-notify po kayo sa aking susunod na video. Bye!
Video number 3 is from But Jimmy on 47 YouTube channel. Video
Today
number 5 is from
with
the Chef
spiny
Pachi Gallo
lobster
Sustainably
from
Fit YouTube
Panama.
channel.
An
Thank you for watching our
amazing
top 5
kind of
recipes.
lobster.
Hit
And
that like
I'm going
button
to
and the
show you
subscribe
how
button if you
good
enjoyed
it
this
is.
video.
Eat delicious and lose weight with Chef Pachi.
Hi, this is Chef Pachi, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make spiny lobster from Panama. And you can do it anytime at home. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a pot of water and we're going to add some dry thyme, some of Chef Pachi's seasoning for seafood, or you can use Old Bay, and a lot of salt. So we are trying to imitate the sea salt where we got that lobsters from. We bring that to a boil, and now we're going to add our lobster tails. We have fresh lobster tails that if we had frozen at any point, we need to take them back to at least cool room temperature. Do not put them frozen because this is going to cool your water down so much it's going to take them too long to cook. 5 minutes for the tiny lobsters and 10 for the large ones, and we are ready to go. Check it out. They are absolutely beautiful. So simple to make. It's amazing. It's like large shrimp. And the 2 big ones were huge and the 2 tiny ones were normal. They look smaller here, but I mean, these are normal lobster tails. So for the little ones, you can just cut the back in half or on the sides and just peel off the meat from the lobster like if it was a big shrimp. These are spiny lobsters we have in Panama. So you should do this with a piece of cloth because otherwise your hands are going to become a disaster. But I wanted to show you exactly how I do it, and that's why I am using my bare hands. I don't do it like this all the time. Sometimes I do, but it's better if you use a piece of cloth. Here we go. It is important that your lobster meat is not overcooked because remember, it is still warm inside and they are going to finish cooking completely 1 or 2 minutes after you bring them out of the pot. With these bigger lobster tails, we are going to have to cut off all those tiny fins and also the back of the lobster. These are very large lobster tails. These were lobsters that were about 2 to 3 pounds, and it is much better to buy them a little bit smaller. They are so amazing and beautiful, like you've seen on the picture that I'm showing, that when I see them, I just have to get them. They are beautiful. Here we go, same thing. Take out those little swimming fins and cut the ends. Take it out just as if it was a huge shrimp. Just don't be afraid. Cut into that hard skin with some shears and just peel it off. Take out that skin with your hand and you are ready. Look at it. These are huge tails. I don't think you can see how big they are from the video, but they are huge and beautiful, and our dish is going to be amazing. If we were at the ocean, we'd just boil them in ocean water. That's how they used to do it when I was small. Check out the difference between the lobster tails. It's amazing. Now we just slice them, and that's it. Slice them from top to bottom and get some beautiful rounds, and we're ready to go. We slice each one of them. They are tender. Use a good sharp knife so the cuts are beautiful. And we're going to enjoy this lobster simple. We're going to make 2 different recipes. One with an aioli that I make with yogurt, and the other with an amazing balsamic from Modena that is aged and beautiful, that is called Oro, O-R-O, because it has a subtle taste. I'm gonna make the aioli with yogurt, the garlic, salt and pepper, olive oil, and lime juice. You can use lemon juice, but here we get limes. And we just mix it. I make it with yogurt for two reasons. For one, because it's much easier than having to make my own mayonnaise. And I usually make my own mayonnaise. I don't like it bought. And two, because I use it for other recipes where I might need a higher protein content. Beautiful, simple, spread some on a plate and add those amazing lobster pieces. How about that? Simple and beautiful is the name of lobster. It's the best way to serve it and you'll enjoy it. Add some spice, be it allspice, or in case you made Chef Pachi's spice mix. Then just cover and serve. Beautiful dish you can make anytime you find the lobster. To defrost your lobster tails, if you buy them frozen, put them in cool water, not in warm water, and let them sit wrapped and sealed in the water until they're defrosted. For our second dish, we're gonna add our walnut oil on the plate, a little bit of spice, and then we're gonna add our lobster. Whenever you use these nut oils that are so flavorful, use them when you serve your dish, not to cook. This way, you're gonna protect your oil and you're gonna enjoy the full flavor of it. It is worth it. They are beautiful. With this second plate, all we do is add a slice of red onion, a little of that oil and spice, and the balsamic vinegar that I tell you that is very, very soft because it's aged. It's not a sweet concentrated balsamic, it's just an aged balsamic that is less tart and less acid. Serve it with some beautiful parsley and voila! A perfect, beautiful meal in seconds. Enjoy lobster. Go ahead, buy some, cook them, and enjoy them. It is beautiful and delicious. Chef Pachi. Delicious food, amazing mood. Enjoy, Chef Pachi.